Hey everybody, I am happy to see you. I hope you've had a fantastic spring break. The weather has been fantastic and we all really needed a deep breath. But I am coming to you now to help set some expectations for what it's going to be like and what you will need to know for this coming Monday, the 22nd, when many of us will return to the school building and some of us will remain remote. So I want to discuss some points, let you know what you can expect. If your kiddo's not sitting with you now, would you go get your third grader? I would love for them to also hear this so that all our expectations are set and nobody is lost or feeling insecure on Monday. All right. I want to make an announcement before we go any further. We will all be staying together. Your child will not have a new teacher. It will be me. We get to stay together. Got some real bad feedback from both teachers, parents, and kids when that proposition came up. And so, in order to keep our communities together and not do any shuffling of classes, we are going to be engaging in what's called a simultaneous teaching model. And I will talk some more about that. But I am looking forward to seeing the kids that are coming to our campus on person. Right now, there's about 9 of those kids, and I'll be seeing them live from room 29, which is located the furthest from the office and the closest to the library, room 29. My remote kids, I will see you in our usual Zoom room. And that is where the simultaneous teaching will come together and be successful. What it means is that I am going to be in the classroom teaching the children who are sitting in our classroom live and our kids who are remote via Zoom at the same time. It's going to take some juggling. I don't proclaim to have it completely all ironed out and nailed out, but I definitely have got 2 computers. I'll have 2 Zooms open. I'll have a Bluetooth mic. I'll be using a Promethean board, and I'm going to be hopefully trying to meet the needs of both the kids that are live in front of me as well as the kids that are live on our remote Zoom. It will require some patience, especially in the first 3 days. We're going to have some bumps. We're going to have some kinks to work out. And it's going to take us a minute to figure out how best to meet everybody's needs. So your patience and flexibility in this first week in particular, I am ever most grateful for. As I mentioned, we have about 9 kids planning to come back to our classroom right now, which means we have about 13 kids that are scheduled to be home on a remote platform. But we will all still be using the same learning platforms and techniques that we've been using thus far, including Seesaw and Clever as our primary methods of learning and submitting work and reviewing work and discussing new ideas. Now, for those of you who plan to have your children back in the classroom, you should be advised that Calland will be distancing when and wherever possible, but 6 feet cannot be guaranteed. And depending on the number of students on site in each classroom, that distancing may become even harder to maintain. We are going to have a schedule change, several of them. And it will be important, especially for our remote kids, to be aware of these changes because they've grown so accustomed to the way we've done it thus far. So let me go ahead and share that. I will also be sending this out in email and possibly in text for your review. Here we go, our Ijams daily schedule for the 4th quarter. Our on-site learners will be dropped off at that southern gate with a large parking lot at 9 in the morning. We begin in-person class sharply at 9:15, and that is the time when remote students will be logging in and completing their bell work. This first day and possibly second and third days, my remote learners are going to be starting late at 9:30, just to give us a little bit of wiggle room so we can get some procedures established for in the classroom. We'll meet together as a class, establish some community time, have a laugh, and then at 9:45, we'll move on to English language arts. Our breaks and lunch times are firm and will remain the same without any change. At 10:45, we will take our morning recess break. This will be the same for our in-person kids as well as our children who are on remote learning. At that time, in-person kids will be going to the playground. The playground will be sectioned off by grade level in order to sort of limit exposure and to manage play areas. The play equipment will be sprayed down between each grade level use, and any activities that occur on the playground will be distanced. We will return from our recess break in the morning at 11:05 when we will continue our ELA, and that time will also be available alternatively to social studies. We will be taking our afternoon lunch at 12:10 every day. This is more than half an hour later than kids are accustomed to. So talking to your child in advance, letting them know that this is a shift and something that they will get used to rather quickly would be most helpful to us. We'll return from lunch at 12:50 for some quiet reading time, and at 1:15 we'll move on to math. We have an afternoon break at 1:45, and it will be the same arrangement. Both remote and in-person kids will break at that time. In-person kids will go out to the playground for the same arrangements that I just discussed. We will come back promptly at 2:05 and we'll continue our math. I'm going to go ahead and leave this 2:30 slot sort of open as a flex time because you should know that this schedule is tentative and flexible. We're not going to know what works best for us until we get there and try it out. And our normal dismissal times at 3:25 and 2:25 respectively. Wednesdays are early release at 2:25. You should note that Arizona merit testing is just around the corner, and all students who are participating in the Arizona merit test will be taking the test in person on campus. Repeat, any child taking the Arizona merit test will be required to be in person and on campus to take those tests. We have the dates of Monday, April 12th and Friday the 16th, Monday, April 19th and Wednesday the 21st, and Monday the 26th, all scheduled as Arizona merit testing days. It was recently stated in a board meeting, and I believe a number of forums by Dr. Trujillo, that all students are strongly encouraged to take the Arizona merit test this year. This is the first year that students will be taking that test, third grade, and they are encouraged. However, should families opt not to have their child take the Arizona merit this year, Dr. Trujillo has ensured us that there will be no consequences. Should a family choose to opt out of the standardized testing, no consequence will come to that student. So that's a piece of information for you. I've included a few to-dos, some reminders that I really hope our kids are going to be able to bring back on board with a renewed effort. That includes being on time and prepared. Being prepared is going to very strongly look like having a laptop that was charged fully the night before and having their charging cable with them. It's also important for kids to take their time. Towards the end of the last quarter, we were getting pretty rushy pretty quickly. And I want us to be thoughtful with our work and take our time so that everything gets done to the best of our ability. This is going to include reading any comments on returned work, where I'm able to offer suggestions, prompts, or ideas for improvement. And your student is responsible for seeking them out, reading them, and making attempts to upgrade or improve the assignment based on what I've suggested. And last, I want students to remember to ask for help. I'm going to try my darndest to meet everybody's needs. Sometimes I don't know unless you ask. So please don't hesitate to ask if your student is having any difficulty. Okay, I have some special notes for our in-person crowd and some special notes for our remote crowd. And I'd like to go over those right now just so that everybody understands what will be expected of them and what to expect. So there's no surprises. So here I go. with our in-person students. Students are expected and will be expected to wear a mask covering both their nose and mouth at all times, with the exception of eating. Students, one more time, must wear a mask that covers their mouth and their nose 100% of the time, and I can guarantee you I will be a real stickler about this. If families can spend any time this weekend before our kids return to the building, wearing their mask for extended periods of time, reminding them not to touch them, reminding them to pinch and form the mask to their nose, reminding to keep their nose covered. This kind of practice could be invaluable and could really help us kickstart our program with the least amount of difficulty. So thank you for taking the time this weekend to work with your child and set those expectations. Next, for our in-person learners, if your child at any time is not well, please keep them home. There's a good likelihood that any illness that a child is experiencing may be cause to send them home regardless of what it is. So if your child is not well, we have so much at stake. Please just keep them home, protect them, wait it out and see until we have some more information. That's going to be the best way to handle any kind of illness or yucky feelings. Every day, this is going to be the top point. Every day, in-person students must have their laptop, which was charged the night before, and their charger in a backpack. So they have it with them every single day and it is safe. In that backpack, they should be carrying a water bottle, probably separate from the laptop in case of spills. But that water bottle should have their name written on it. Water fountains are community areas and they have been eliminated for this last quarter. So have a water bottle with you. And in that backpack, please stash away a sweatshirt or a sweater. I can guarantee you that I'm going to have some very positive airflow and ventilation in our room. And should your kiddo get cold, I want them to be able to whip out of their backpack a sweater or a sweatshirt so that they're comfortable and can keep learning. If you are in need of any of these items or are unable to provide them, please let me know right away and I'd be happy to try and help you out. Not in your child's backpack every single day are supplies, toys, and electronics from home, other than the laptop and charger. I have all the supplies your child will need. We don't want to be sharing, so we want to limit everything that the kiddos have with them so that we can avoid any difficulties or problems. I've got bags made up with brand new scissors, and I've got glue sticks, and I've got everything they will possibly need. Here's a neat new announcement. Breakfasts, lunch, and snacks are free to every student who chooses to have it for the remainder of the school year. Free. Can your kids bring their lunch? Absolutely, but they will be responsible for those in their backpacks as well. We don't have a community container any longer, so that's part of why the backpack is so important for your child to bring with them every single day. And a last reminder that students who are coming on campus must be dropped off in the south parking lot between 9 and 9:10 in the morning, no earlier. Class will begin promptly at 9:15. And that are some of the very most important points for our in-person learners. It should also stand to mention that your child should have that laptop charged in advance with their charger every single day. And if they do not have it, we are dead in the water. Our learning will come to a screeching halt. Any student who does not have a laptop, maybe they were using a family desktop, will be assigned a laptop and a charger for them to be responsible for, to care for, and to use every day. And that will be arranged hopefully on the first day that they come to the building to join us. Now, to share some information about our remote learners and what they can expect and what will be most helpful for us to accomplish. And that will be on my next screen. Ijams Remote Learners. You will also be starting back, except this time you'll be starting on the Ijams Zoom room instead of room 29. And you're going to begin with a late start of 9:30 so that I can get our in-person kids settled in, get a few procedures established, and then we will be looking forward to seeing you once again. First few days, you can probably anticipate a late start of 9:30. I'll let you know when that time changes. Now, top of the list of importance for our remote families. There will be activities that our in-person learners are doing because they are craving to use their hands, craving to cut and glue and color, and it hasn't been available to us in remote learning. I want our remote learners to have this same access. So I have been putting together bags of supplies, copies, packets, folders for several different projects. And in order to get those in the hands of our remote learners, we will need families to come pick them up on a distribution day of Wednesday, the 24th. That's this coming Wednesday. If for some reason you are unable to make it then, ask a family friend, ask a family member. It's very important that these materials get home to you. But if for some unforeseeable reason you are not able to make it, please let me know at your earliest convenience so that I can make some special arrangements for you. Your student must have these materials. All right, just a little reminder to thank everybody for being patient with us as we go into this simultaneous teaching plan. It's going to be a little tricky and we're going to have lots of kinks to work out. So thank you for your patience. We may have some more wait time. We may have some more asynchronous time than usual, but very shortly, we are hoping to go ahead and get everybody set up and on the same schedule here real soon, okay? And last, thank you for taking a moment to discuss these expectations with your third grader in advance. We don't want any but surprises. We want everybody to feel comfortable and know what to expect. Trying to think of any other things that you may need to know or questions, predict any questions that you may have about all of this. I feel like I've covered a lot of the basics. If there should be items that I have not covered and that you are wondering about or need to know, please, I encourage you to send me a text, send me an email, or pick up the phone. I'm happy to answer any questions I can to alleviate any stress for you and your family on Monday, the 22nd. I don't feel like there's anything else that I have forgotten, but thanks for getting in touch if there's anything that you specifically need to know. I can't wait for us to come back refreshed and to see if we can tackle this little crazy challenge of ours. I'm sure we can, especially since we're still together and we know how the general routine goes. Thanks much. I look forward to seeing everybody on Monday.